Toastmasters. Good afternoon. How many of you love to evaluate? I mean the speeches, not a person. Okay. But I want to ask a more thoughtful, precise question. Why we want evaluation? Anybody?
Critical thinking.
Okay. Anything else? Okay. What I think is because of the two needs we have. The first need is the need of acceptance. Like you have delivered a speech with your own thoughts and you have a message in that. How the audience, the listeners have got it. So that you want to know. So that is a logical aspect of any speech. So that is the need of acceptance. The second one is the emotional need, wherein you get support. Like for any person to be successful in his chosen field, he needs support, appreciation, and encouragement. So that is the emotional need every human being has. So evaluation serves that need. Now moving on, we have evaluation. So what are the benefits the speakers get from it? First thing is they provide immediate feedback. Now, this is something unique to Toastmasters. In your work, can you think how many times you get immediate feedback? Probably once during a year, during your appraisals. And where appraisals don't happen, you don't get any feedback in your professional life, right? So that providing feedback is a crucial aspect for anybody, whether it's a speaker or whether he is doing his work. And most of the time, we don't know our strengths. So evaluator highlights those strengths. And also, he provides constructive feedback, what areas can be improved. So that is offering methods of improvement. Finally, like everybody likes to be appreciated, like Tarun told, we need attention. So somebody appreciates, we get motivated. And that is what evaluation provides you, building and maintaining the self-esteem of a speaker. Now, is there any benefit for the evaluators? Shruti? I am just going on evaluating. Do I gain anything? Anupriya?
So there are a couple of things that we gain as evaluators. One thing is already highlighted as critical thinking.
Okay.
How we analyze the speech.
Okay.
And also we get that emotional aspect wherein how much to praise and how much to give feedback.
Okay, that's a great aspect, yeah. We get to balance things, right? So it improves a lot of things. So what I have highlighted is three things. First thing is you become a good listener. Otherwise, G will definitely point out, like you are not said this. So your listening skills improve. Especially I have become a good listener because I now get to evaluate my wife's speeches, which are frequently for 2 minutes. Then it develops your impromptu speaking skills. Like how much ever notes you may have, finally most of your evaluation speech is impromptu. So you could have like some phrases, but the sentence formation and the examples you give have to be impromptu on stage. So it's a stepping stone for your table topic skill also. Finally, as Sumant and Anupriya pointed out, this is improving your analytical skills. For example, last international speech contest, District 92, which happened in Kochi, me, Ananda and Induja had similar opinions on who were the best speakers that day. So you have a streamlined thinking, analytical thinking on that aspect. Then, is there any benefit for the audience or just you are listening? There, you learn the best practices of speeches. You can apply to your speeches, your coming speeches. Now, let us look at what we need to evaluate. Anybody with the answer? What you need to look in a speech while evaluating?
Content,
Yes?
gestures,
Okay. Right. So mainly it is content and the delivery. So content is what you speak, what you have written in script and what you deliver. So that is the structure, opening, body and conclusion. And the purpose, like whether you are persuading, informing, inspiring or entertaining. And the language, whether you are using the correct grammar, pronunciation and vivid words so that it brings images in front of audience. Then the delivery, like are you using your body language, gestures, are you free on stage, are you comfortable on stage, are you maintaining eye contact with everyone in the audience, then are you using the gestures, and then the vocal variety, when you have to vary the pitch, are you varying, like if you want to act like a kid, are you saying I want a chocolate mama? So that whether you are making that change in the pitch and the rate of speech, somewhere you need to go with the lot of pace or somewhere you need to slow down, you need to give pauses. So if you are doing that, it's a part of a great speech. However, in spite of having all these aspects, or rather not having these aspects, a speech could be great. What is that one aspect? I was talking to 2015 world champion of public speaking, Mohammad Katani, during the Kochi coronation. He told some of the speeches doesn't have a proper structure, broken grammar, bad pronunciation, but still they make the cut and win hearts of the audience. Why? Because the audience feel that whatever he's speaking is genuine. So that is what, whether the speaker made the audience feel he's telling the genuine story. So if an evaluator see that aspect in a speech, you need to be applauded that efforts too. Now let's move on. How should be a structure of an evaluation speech? Atar, what should be the structure of an evaluation speech?
In our previous education, we have the structure, right? The sandwich method.
Okay, yeah, that is the approaches to the evaluation. The main thing is it should have an opening, body, and conclusion. So it's like a mini speech. So, but you may not have all the time a captivating opening in a evaluation speech. For a scripted speech, you would have worked on that, right? So what you can do with coming up with a good opening, one thing you can do is to pick a best line from the speaker itself, from the speech. Otherwise, you can blend with the theme, like today we have solstitute, so you can blend with the theme. Once I had to evaluate during a session which had the theme, I think, rhythm of music. So what I did was, like in film music, tunes are composed first, especially in South Indian music. Then the lyrics are fitted into that. So what is the connection? The objectives, which are like the tunes, are perfectly in rhythm with the script, that is the speech. So you can make such captivating openings so that the audience is hooked and made to listen to your speech. Now, as Atar already pointed out, the two approaches to evaluation. So one aspect, one approach is comment, recommend and comment. That is to say, you begin with appreciating the efforts of the speaker. Then you can recommend suggestions like how we can improve on few aspects. And finally, end it with comment, that is appreciating his efforts. And there is also one more approach wherein you are commenting, recommending and finally summarizing. I usually take the second approach because during summarize you can actually jot down the points which were good and which need to be improved, and people don't forget. So you can do that in the summary phase. Finally, how to evaluate effective, like before the speech, what should be your preparations? First thing is, we all have the CC manuals, and for pathways we have online material where you can find the objectives. So go through the manual objectives. The next thing is some speakers are making genuine efforts to improve upon their say eye contact. So if you speak to them and if they are making that effort, and you can if you point out if they are done brilliantly, that would uplift their spirits. So you can talk to the speaker beforehand. Now during the speech, what you need to do, first thing is show that you are interested. You are an evaluator, but you need not behave like an invigilator in an exam hall. You need to be showing interest. What are the ways to show interest? You can nod and you can smile. I personally have seen that these little courtesies, gestures, do a world of good to the speaker. Even if I falter, that one smile keeps me going and finish the speech. So you can do that as well. Next, put yourself in the position of the speaker, because that will give you a point of reference. Like, we can comment the way we like, but if we put ourselves in their shoes, we will have a point of reference to compare and give feedback. And of course, you need to take notes, because taking notes enhances your quality of evaluation speech. And what would be the first thing during evaluation, Geeta? You need to carry back the notes on stage. Then choose your words carefully. Like, most of us have a tendency to say, you should have done that, you should do this. So that is kind of a negative language which get into the evaluation speech. Rather than that, you can say from your perspective, like, I have seen, it could have been, it's a third person narrative, or it's my opinion. So that you are distancing yourself and not generalizing whatever the suggestions you are giving. Then evaluate the speech, not the person. That is to say, like, you may have some preconceived notions about a person, but that should not be part of the evaluation speech. Finally, few guidelines I have been following, you can follow as well. Add anecdotes and personal stories. That will make more emotional appeal in the evaluation speech. For example, once I had to do a evaluation of a CC1 speech. So speaker was very nervous, and my sole aim was to push him and uplift his spirits. So what I told was a story of Steve Jobs. What Steve Jobs used to do before the product launch. The previous night, he would address an empty auditorium and visualize a successful presentation. So if you want to be a good speaker, you can do that as well. Address to an empty conference room. Then you can deliver personalized compliments, like rather than generically saying, like, your eye contact was good. If you say, like, I like the way you covered the farthest person, Anirudh. So that will make the perspective unique, and the speaker will feel special about himself or herself. Then, but don't go overboard in appreciating. Be genuine, you're providing your feedback. Finally, address the audience too, because the evaluation speech not only is for the speaker, it's for the audience as well. So you can tell them, like, these are the best aspects you can inculcate in your speech as well. Now, what is the purpose of evaluation? It's progress, not perfection. That is to say, you need not look into perfection in every speech what a speaker delivers. It's only the progress he has made from his previous speech. However, that progress only comes if you apply the feedback given in the previous evaluation. That's right? So with that, I would like to end my education session. So if you have any questions, I can take that. So if you want to be vulnerable evaluators, if you have any doubts, you can ask me. Yeah.
Are there any prerequisites to become an evaluator? Because someone who stepped into the orators club or who wants to step in, he's a beginner.
Yeah.
What would you recommend to him?
I would recommend you give a few speeches first. and then you will know like how hard it is to develop a speech and appreciate the efforts. Like we will not know the efforts they have put unless we have put ourselves. And one more thing is you should not evaluate a speech which is above your level. Like you have delivered a CC4, so you should not evaluate a CC6 speech. So you can evaluate speeches which are below your level. Anything else?
So it's suggested that CC6, one who has done CC6 can evaluate any speeches.
Yeah.
So I've got few complete.
Yeah, yeah.
How effective will that be?
Yeah, CC6, as I told, will cover the two main aspects is like content and delivery. That will be good. And even that is the criteria for attending judge program, right? So that should be, like you are covering the whole aspect of good speech, so you should be good at that. But I would like to say, like, you listen to more speeches, then you have a good idea of what is a good speech. Then you will be able to evaluate better. So, yeah.
How to apply the feedback from the previous speech? Sometimes the objectives are different.
Yeah. If you see the CC1 to CC6 objectives, it says that you have to apply the previous speech's feedback to this speech. And CC1 is accumulative, like CC1 will have its own objectives, CC2 will have objectives of CC1. So it's accumulative and you need to apply that. I think if you go through the manual, you will come to know. I think, yeah.
As an evaluator,
Yeah.
how would you evaluate yourself?
That's a tricky question. Actually, I'm a harsh critic of myself, and I would like to, like, first thing, as I told, for me, it's whether you are writing the speech from your heart or just you are forming a structure to deliver a speech. So if you feel from your heart, your speech will definitely be good. If you write from your mind, it may work well or not. But if you write from your heart, definitely it will be good. Yeah, with that, I would like to hand over to the Toastmaster.